I'm not gonna, you know, drive literally halfway across the country to go do this thing and then quit. It just, you know, it doesn't register that way. When you take quitting completely off the table, you almost don't feel like doing it during the race. On the other hand, once you've already completed something the first time, hello everybody. Hopefully you can hear me. I am out here in Emporia, Kansas for the 2023 UNBOUND Gravel. I'm doing the 200 version again this year. So today is Tuesday. Came into town a little early this year. It's looking like this is what we have to look forward to this weekend. Again, might be another wet one, which means peanut butter mud again, high of 85-ish, and like a 50 to 60% chance of rain and thunderstorms. Whew. Kansas Mountain coming up. So anyway, I'm just out for a little kind of shakeout ride after 2 days of driving from Virginia. So I'm actually attempting to do the UNBOUND 50-mile course today. So I might be trying to beat the sun on the shakeout ride. Like a jackrabbit or something. Never seen one of those. All right, let's do a quick checkup on the bike for this year. Running the Trek checkpoint again. And this year I'm going with these Challenge Strada Bianca 40s. They are a slick slash file tread. No side knobs. Gotta be aero and fast, yo. Didn't run tire inserts, despite the recommendations of Dylan Johnson's and such. Brought the aero bars back just because I did it last year, so I figured I'd keep it even for the effort this year. 3 bottles in the triangle, and then I'm gonna have a 4th in my back jersey pocket. So these are the Polar bottles. They're 30 ounces each, so a little bit bigger than your average bottle. Last year I was just under 15 hours, which was like the break the sun time. I was like 2 minutes beating the sun. This year going for 12 hours.
You serious?
Might be a little ambitious, but my moving time last year was like 13, or like 13:30 or something like that. And I feel like I'm in better shape this year, so hopefully can have a little bit faster average speed. And then obviously I did get a flat last year, so if that cannot happen this year, that will save quite a bit of time as well. So obviously 12 hours would be the, you know, if everything goes right type of deal. Out here for shakeout ride number 2. Got Jeremy with me this time, taking in the sights. So after our Thursday shakeout ride, we, like last year, hit up the packet pickup, check-in, then walked around the expo for a little while. And then on Friday, went back down to the expo I had to pick up a shifter cable because I had some issues with my shifter. Then we saw off the Unbound XL riders. They leave on Friday at 3 p.m. Ride through the night. 350 miles. There are train tracks about probably less than a quarter mile down the road from where we start, and as soon as we start, a train starts coming by. So as the crossings are coming down, the few of us that were kind of towards the front managed to sneak through.
Yeah. Mildly illegal, but oh well. A few people died. Yeah.
Probably, like I said, they're mildly illegal, but, you know, if everyone else is doing it.
Cleats are fairly convenient, but it's easy. You pay a lot of money to do this, guys.
All right, officially been walking for about 2 miles now. No end in sight. All right, finally riding again.
Yeah.
Drying up. For now, anyway. I'll try to chase Jeremy back down. He got away from me in the walking section. Ultra runners. Just not gonna chase too hard because I can't blow myself up. All right, here we go. Did you see that big gnarly rock I hit there? Yeah, me either. Unbelievable. just went through checkpoint 1. Since we last spoke, my GoPro battery died somehow. I think I might have mistimed my button presses and left it on when it was supposed to be off, or vice versa. You'd think I'd know how to do this by now, but nope. So anyway, I got a flat, about mile 35, put 3 plugs in it, and still had a slow leak. So I had to stop about every 5 miles and pump some air into it. So my first checkpoint was about 6.5 hours, whereas I was hoping for about 4.5. Changed rear wheel, and now we're moving again. Just ticked over 100 miles. Sun is baking. I think I'm getting sunburn through my gloves. Too bad. Looks like I might be dealing with that in a minute. So as you can see here, the rain is starting to come down pretty heavily. This big thunderstorm was kind of rolling in, started downpouring on us, and the temperature also dropped about 20 degrees. So in the span of probably less than an hour, I went from baking in the sun and like having to stop on the side of the road under a tree just to kind of cool off a little bit, to being soaked from a thunderstorm and literally shivering. So I pull into the little neutral water stop at mile 124 in Hamilton, shivering under a tent in the downpour with a bunch of dudes eating a hot dog. Probably should have ordered that sentence a little differently. So yeah, I grabbed a hot dog and decided to call it in, mile 124. A little frustrating because I felt like my legs actually were there. Like I was putting out power pretty well throughout, you know, the whole race that thus far. So I feel like I had more to give there. I was just mentally drained and frustrated, and it seemed like the right call to make at that point. So my final thoughts on the race, now that I've had a few days to kind of unwind, think things through, and, you know, listen to all the opinions out there on the internet. My thoughts on the mud section, given that they kind of announced in the meeting the night before that, like, you know, if it's going to be miserable and people are going to be walking for miles and all this kind of stuff, you know, there's a very easy reroute around the mud where it was actually a very nice gravel road. It was a road that we came off of. We would have just stayed straight on that. It would have been very easy to do, but I can kind of see the other side of the argument as well. Like, I get it. This is the marquee gravel event of the world at this point. So obviously it's going to need to be a challenge, but to me, like, doing 200 miles, that's a pretty big challenge in and of itself. You don't really need to throw in bike destroying mud to prove you're tough. I mean, there were people, you know, again, this comes at mile 11, and there's people sitting on the side of the road at that point that I passed where their derailleurs and chains and whatever had been ripped off or broken, and you're 11 miles into a 200-mile race that you've probably trained for all year, and your day is over. You know, bearings in your bottom bracket are getting destroyed, bearings in your wheels, pedals, brake pads, your chain, you know, all this is stuff that's probably going to need to be replaced afterwards, and that's could be another hundreds of dollars on top of the hundreds of dollars it costs to get into this thing and travel and, you know, just everything involved. All of a sudden, those 3.5 miles that should have taken you 10 minutes to get through now takes an hour and a half to get through. So now you're behind on your nutrition, your drinking, your schedule for the rest of the day. Everything just, you're on the ropes and in survival mode less than 10% into the race. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weak mental racer person and I need to like get tougher, and that's my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. YouTube. All that being said, like at the end of my video last year, I asked myself, would I do this again? And I said, would I do it again? Yeah. In fact, I'm probably gonna just enter the lottery for the race in the future years, and if I get in, I would like to do it again. If not, you know, it's not in the cards that year. This year, yes, I'm gonna do it again. I'm not gonna go out on this thing with a DNF as my last result, just for nothing else than feel like I kind of need a little redemption at this point. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one.